Hey folks, Mike and McGee here. Today we're in the cornfield. You can see the little corn has come up and come up well. And that's always a real blessing. That's what it's all about. The way we grow corn, we do it the old-fashioned way of cultivation. We don't spray the herbicides and the chemicals. In order to do that, you got to be serious about getting it cultivated when it needs to be cultivated, because if you put it off, you will be fighting an uphill battle. Now, the way the weather worked out was just amazing for us this year. A lot of people were crying about the drought. We didn't have a drought, but it didn't rain for about 3 weeks. It was the exact perfect time for me. You can see right here, my corn is up way ahead of the weeds. I have not cultivated this yet. The way we do it, where we plow that big, thick clover crop under the ground, that stuff just holds moisture like everything under there. This corn never suffered a lick, but the weeds did. And the weeds are starting to come up. But I have such a good jump with this corn, it's gonna be no problem. I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna start cultivating real quick. Now, something people don't understand, your crop needs cultivation not only for weed control, but also for insulation purposes. When you cultivate that and you loosen that soil, it insulates and keeps the moisture from wicking out and coming up to the top and being sucked out into the atmosphere. That's something that's not, a lot of people don't know that. I'm gonna dig down right here and show you right here right quick. Look at that. Literally right here. There's only a crust of, the crust might be ½ inch. It's not deep at all. And as you keep that soil loose, it's just gonna keep that moist down in there. And as I say, that clover is not only providing nitrogen, big time, it's also helping hold that moisture. So let's get in here and get this cultivated and give these weeds a knock right in the jaw. As you can see, I've got to be very careful not only to stay in line, because I've only got this much leeway with from my plants, but I have to not drive very fast when the plants are this little, because the dirt will cover them up. But I do want to drive fast enough to cover the weeds. So I'm going to throw you on a time lapse and we're fixing to knock this thing out. All right, with me I've got the Eric Hale family. They have a YouTube channel called Eric Hale. Hey, I like it.
Yeah.
Man, when did we start seeing each other on YouTube? It has been a long time.
I think when I looked, it was like almost 4 years when you came to my house.
Really?
In July.
Well, I've only been doing this about 4 years,
Yeah.
so by the time I got to his house, I already was watching his videos, so it's pretty exciting. And he lives in Indiana, so you know, that's not in Tennessee. That means I had to get the wheels under me and go, which happened here. Mr. Eric brought his family to my place. That was an honor. I had to put some mangalitsa meat down in his
Yeah, it was good. Some of the best pork I'd ever ate. So I suggest you ever get a chance to eat some mangalitsa, definitely go for it.
Yeah. So anyway, Eric Hale, if you remember in my corn video, gave me the seed to plant this field. And this corn is actually 3-part. It's got Guatemalan, Trucker's Favorites, and what's the name of the
Purple Pride.
Purple Pride. Boy, your people all left.
Yeah.
They just walked out right in the middle.
They want to get out of here. They're not camera people.
They're not camera people? Oh, well. But anyway, aside from that, we won't get our feelings hurt. We are pretty excited about this corn. As you can see, it's dry. Underneath is not dry, but when you got this dry of dirt on the top, the weeds don't really stand a chance. This is my first cultivation. I got out here last night, cultivated this all, and in my corn video, it hadn't even come out yet. But I explained in the corn video why I planted like this.
Yeah, I was wondering. Noticed it was planted different.
Is that not odd as a $3 bill?
Yeah.
Well, here's the reason. See that deer blind right there? If this corn doesn't come in before deer season, I'll be able to see. If a deer's in the field, I'll be able to see, and from there, that angle, that 45-degree angle, I can also see that way.
That's a good idea.
So there was another reason I did it. I didn't want to completely do 100% corn on this ground again, because last year I had a problem in this field with, I had to fertilize it with the triple 19. So my thought is, I want to do a crop during the summer to also help that. So I'm going to come in here before I cultivate it the next time, and I'm going to do a real thick soybeans. I believe I'm going to do soybeans if I can find the seed. And then those will come up, and then I won't till it anymore, and we'll just hopefully get a good thick coverage. And of course, by then the corn will be here, and the soybeans will follow it, but the corn will, you know how that goes. So then I can still get my tractor in, and for my fall planting of crimson clover, I can work that soybean in and plant my crimson clover. I think it's going to work good.
Yeah.
I hope.
Even if you can't find soybeans, you can always go to the grocery store and get any kind of
bean of any kind. Yeah, that's right.
That you want to throw in there.
Yeah, we might be eating pintos for the rest of our life.
Pinto beans, baby beans.
Yeah.
Cow peas.
Yeah.
Those supposed to take the heat anyhow, so if something like that, it might even work better.
Yeah, that's right.
What, that red ripper peas or whatever they say, that does really good in the heat.
Yeah.
And I know that they'd cover the ground for you and suppress the weeds a little. Plus put some nitrogen back.
Yeah, so that's our plan. We're going to double cover crop this ground, even though we are making corn. And I'd say the amount of corn I got planted here will make quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I put all of the blue, what'd you call it again?
Purple Pride.
Purple Pride. See, you got to bang it into my head.
And just remember, Tennessee Pride.
Tennessee Tech is Purple Pride. That's right. Tennessee Tech is Purple Pride. Anyway, Purple Pride corn. Say that 3 times real fast. But anyway, I put the first 4 rows down there is pure Purple Pride. And the rest of this is all the mix.
The hybrid mix.
So I'm excited about the hybrid mix also. Some of y'all don't realize this, but when you mix the corns together, it makes a stronger corn.
It gives it hybrid vigor.
It's got that vigor, yeah. Which is, trying to think of a good joke with that, but I ain't coming up with one. But anyway, would you like to go and look at the sugar beets I planted?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I've always wanted to grow sugar beets.
Yeah, nobody on here has seen what my sugar beets look like because I haven't shown them. So we'll go look at them. They're growed up with weeds because I didn't plant them in rows and I can't cultivate it, but they're still growing. So let's go look at them.
The more sunlight comes through on these rows.
Exactly.
You'll have bigger ears on this row, this row, that row, and that row. You're just getting more sunlight.
Yeah. I did this one other time before, and on my corn video I showed some footage of it, but it really made good corn, and the soybeans did good, and the deer just came right in.
That's it. I bet you got getting caught up in your plow.
Yeah, it sure did. That's why next year I'm gonna.
That's what happened to me when I tried doing that. Yeah. And I couldn't. I was like, man, this is such a mess. I'll never do this again. Yeah. That's the whole dang thing was like that.
Well, I got a guy that watches me now that was communicating when he was getting ready to do it. Duncan, I believe, Duncan D. And I suggested for him to disc instead of mow. He said it really worked better, so I'm going to do that next time. Instead of mowing it, I'm going to disc it. I think it'll turn under a lot nicer.
Oh, so you've left quite a bit of gaps all through here, then.
Oh, yeah. Yes, all through here. Yeah. So here's where I planted the sugar beets. This ground is kind of hard, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're coming on.
Yeah, making that nice tapper. That reminds me of like the tillage radishes a little.
Yeah. If he'll get up about that big around, be about that long, that'd make some really good. I'd like to make sugar with it, but I'll probably feed my pigs.
Yeah, they say it makes great feed for animals.
Yeah. When I planted these one other time in my garden, and in the wintertime, I let my milk cow in there. She loved them. I mean, they were just growing like that, and they were that tall. She mowed them down.
I know, like up north where they grow more sugar beets, that's one of their main things is feeding the dairy animals.
Yeah,
these sugar beets.
So I don't know if they're sweet or not, but it's probably too young to have any sugar yet. It's a little bit sweet, actually, quite a bit. You can pull one and try it.
I'll trust you.
It's a little bit sweet.
Now, what weed is this? Do you know?
Yeah, that's ragweed.
That's ragweed, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That ragweed is just rough. My biggest problem in here is Johnson grass, but ragweed will take over too.
You got the same exact weeds that I got in Indiana that's growing. The ragweed, the Johnson grass, and the little morning glory.
Yeah. Oh, them are rough. The morning glory is very hard on the cornfield because they climb right up them.
Well, the morning glory, it'll rain one time after, and they'll be up the next day, popped up everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And the morning glory is the only thing this dry weather is not knocking out. It sends a taproot deep. But just live with it, I guess. Do the best you can. If you keep it cultivated like this, a morning glory going up, it's not going to kill it or hurt it too bad.
Well, you know, once the corn gets waist high, you can have weeds all through. You're going to get you a harvest of corn.
You will, especially if you get rain. But the way this is going this year, I don't think weeds are going to be too big an issue. I think it's going to be an easy crop.
I've had my best weed suppression in years ever, I think, because of the dryness. Because I'm not, you know, every 2 days it raining there. In Indiana, in lower Indiana where I live, it rains all the time in the May through June. I'm begging for it to stop raining. This year we haven't had it. I don't got millions of weeds popping up because of that.
Yeah. And down the end, it's still moist.
Yep.
And the thing about it is, if you water your garden when it gets a little dry on top, those roots are going to stay up near the surface. That's not what you want.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you don't want to water your corn.
No.
In the drought. You want your roots to be growing as deep as possible.
That's right.
Because if you you water right now, you're going to have shallow roots. That first wind that comes through is going to blow every bit of your corn down.
Not only that, but you get the plant depending on you watering it with those shallow roots. And if you stop and then it gets dry, they will. So you just create yourself a job that you don't even need to have.
Yeah. Because corn's got a drought tolerance to begin with to a certain level.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Unlike like green beans and tomatoes and stuff like that.
And especially if you plow under as much clover as what I plowed under, you know all that is really drawing in that moisture and getting that sliminess, and it's just holding in that moisture underground. So I think it's a huge moisture bank. Not only the nitrogen it's giving you, but it's also creating a bank of moisture. I don't know if you noticed, but that the soybeans across the road from me are no-till.
Yeah.
They're already wilting because they don't have a soil. They don't have a seed bed for one thing because they didn't plow it, but they don't have that moisture bank under there with their biomass. So they really depend on rain with the no-till.
Yeah. But then again, they're supposed to say no-till's supposed to save on moisture too.
I'm
not seeing it in my tilled area that I do.
No, I've seen that the corn and the soybeans both wilt down quicker in the no-till. But I haven't seen any huge crop failures either way. We always, around here anyway, we get enough rain to get us by. But I have had super success with my corn by plowing it, getting it a good seed bed, putting a good cover crop in.
That's me too with plowing. To me, I think the roots are going to have to fight in a no-till, just trying to penetrate that soil.
Yeah.
And unlike a tilled where those roots are just spreading out easy and
yeah.
getting the nutrients that they need instead of fighting and trying to do that hard, compact ground.
And you think about it, all that biomass is in there where the roots are instead of laying all up top. It makes sense to me. Some people don't like it, but I can't help it.
Yeah.
I've got to where I listen to people when they tell me stuff, but I don't change my ways.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. Old and set in my ways.
Yeah.
But it's also putting food on the table, you know, putting food in the pig's mouth or cow's mouth or whatever. So to me, it's more of a worthwhile hobby than going out with a stick hitting a ball as far as you can and spending hundreds of dollars on that. So
playing golf.
Yeah.
You just put your money right here.
That's right.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. That's the way I've always looked at it. Like.
Yep. It's kind of like the difference between fishing and golfing. You know, when you're fishing, if you're keeping the fish to eat, you're actually doing something productive, you know.
Yeah.
Some people don't see it that way. That's what we tell ourselves, ain't it, boys? Well, let's go look at the potatoes. So this upper side is already turning yellow. They're done.
Done.
Yeah, I think once they hit this stage here, they're not going to really grow anymore, are they?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Now I came out this morning and dug some of the red and a few of the whites for your supper.
Oh,
so, yeah, so you can at least see what they did. There's some of them that were still kind of like new potatoes, but they're getting a little bit big for that. But
see, now I'd go through here if you wanted. You could till this right here up and replant sweet corn, green beans, or anything that you wanted to plant.
Yep. Once I get these potatoes dug, I'm not exactly sure what I'll do yet, but I'm going to do something here for sure.
Because with your growing season, you could still got plenty of time to grow all kinds of stuff.
I've planted corn as late as July the 21st.
I was going to say I planted July 15th, and I still had a harvest at my place.
So this is not a real steep hillside, but if I tilled it all at one time and we got a heavy rain, it would eat ditches down through there.
You can tell you can't tell from the video how much of a slope this is sloping down. I can see where the erosion would be. Yeah. You definitely wouldn't want to go long ways with your rows at all.
No. So I think having the grass like this in between the rows is just perfect. I mean, it's not going to wash. There's no way it can wash.
And really, if you pull the potatoes out, you can just plant right here where the potatoes was even.
Yeah.
Maybe you wouldn't want to plant tomatoes or anything like that, but corn, beans would be perfect.
Yeah. Last year this was my hay field, and this year I did my hay in the orchard, but I may go ahead and come back in here and plant back alfalfa or something and have hay here next year.
Yeah, that'd work there.
Because I'm definitely not going to put potatoes back here because there's potato beetles. Found it. Some way, somehow they found it. I think I've cultivated these taters 3 times.
3 times?
With my tractor, yeah.
They healing them? Or no?
Not just the regular cultivator pulls it up a little bit and does a little bit of healing, but I don't have discs
like what I got.
I don't have that yet.
That'd be a game changer for you.
I need to get that, don't I?
I tell you what, like $600 I think after shipping. That was one of the best investments I bought because it came with the cultivators, came with the row healers, and the middle buster to dig it in the toolbar.
Wow.
I mean, I'm getting 3 tools and for $6. That was one of the best investments on a Homestead you could buy. Is that?
Yeah. That's amazing. The white potatoes in somewhere down there, and then I've got reds, and I've got the Yukon Gold. To me, Yukon Gold just doesn't grow good.
I never had no luck with Yukon Gold.
They just don't have a vigorous looking plant system, so I may not grow them anymore. The red ones are my favorite to eat, but these Kennebecs
as well, I was getting ready to say grow the best for me.
Kennebecs grow good, they store good. It's just a good old all around plant.
But me, I just buy what the Tractor Supply or Rural King has on a 50-pound bag,
right?
And that's what I plant.
Yeah.
But this year I tried some purple potatoes that I found. Oh
wow, yeah.
Let's see how they do.
Yeah. Are you going to make a video about it?
I need to.
Hopefully when you dig them, you can show them to us. Yeah. But so this here, what you see is 210 pounds. I had to go back and get 10 pounds to finish that last row out. But basically 200 pounds did all this. So.
With that, you're talking probably 1,000 pounds of potatoes, probably?
We'll see when we dig them. From what I saw there digging, it's going to be kind of a medium crop. It's not going to be just a super bumper crop. But when you plant this many, it don't have to be a bumper crop.
But really, with the moisture, you guys have been dry too.
Been dry.
It would have been a lot better.
Been dry, yeah. But in some cases, dry is good. So, I mean, it definitely doesn't get the blighting and all that fungus. I've always heard dry weather scares the farmer. Super wet weather actually hurts him.
Yeah. Well, here's why you can always add the water to the ground, but you can't take it out.
That's right. That's right. And you can mulch it and conserve what's there already.
Oh yeah. So your fields are just patched out all through.
Yeah. And I mean, literally, I could clear all this and have a lot of really a huge field, but then that's really going to hurt my deer.
Oh, so I get this is all flat.
Yeah.
It's mainly shrub growth down in it.
So basically, the way I manage this primarily for deer, secondary for corn. My original goal, I never even thought about raising feed crops here. My goal was strictly deer, but then the feed crops worked into it perfect because the cover crop, the clover, building the soil also draws deer. So it all works hand in hand. And you see I got little shoots off going here and there, little patches here and there. And that's just like a very small little
they'll be taking that length, a little funnel for them to
Yeah. So, and of course, bobwhite quail are almost, really hard to survive, and they do pretty good in here. They like to get in these little shrubberies, and they can escape the predators that way. And of course, a lot of this is sumac, which produces those seeds that fall, and then they can eat that.
I think I got some of these sumacs growing on my property, but I didn't never see no. The seeds come out. This is the sumac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some of those that look like it's growing on my property.
Yeah, they don't produce seeds till the late fall. This might be the seed right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at mine to see if that's what it is. It's got to leave something. Is there other trees that got something similar to this?
Yes. There is a very invasive one that's terrible called the Tree of Heaven, or Ailanthus, and it looks similar to this. The way to tell is to break the tip off. This here really don't snap off. Ailanthus will snap off and you smell it and it stinks. This here, it don't even want to break. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that.
Yep, the boys helped me build this when they were just real little.
These had to be expensive.
They might not have been when I did that. I did that probably, let's see, Joe was probably 4 or 5. Now he's 18. So it's been there a while. Yep.
Because I would hate to go buy a beam like that now.
Yeah, they're very high. You want to go see the orchard?
Yeah.
It's not got any much fruit, but at least they look pretty nice. Right after I planted the orchard is when Keeping It Dutch did that thing. Here's all the cows.
Yeah.
I pile them up here and they're actually fertilizing my grass. We're making them green. But Keeping It Dutch had that contest. I think you entered it and I entered it.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. And so when part of my video on that was out here. These trees were very tiny then.
And I'm sitting here looking at this. We need the bagger.
Well, I'll probably make hay again here. You know what these lagoons are?
Is that one of the ones you was talking about in one of your videos that you made the
side, the barrel stuff?
Yeah.
Yep, that's called beggar's life.
Beggar's life, that's what it was.
And that's actually a high protein. That's actually a high protein plant. You can see the little things are coming out on it.
Yeah.
If you let it grow up and dry out, you can't walk through here without completely getting your britches completely
with
covered.
Little fuzzy things.
Yes.
I think I got that growing on my property too.
You very well might. There's different.
It looks familiar in some of the weeds I mow every day.
So that's a high protein animal. He takes a little longer to dry out, so I probably won't let these mature completely when I mow for hay again. I'll mow them fairly young, say about twice that, maybe about this deep, you know, on a real hot time in July or August, and we'll put this orchard back in the barn for hay again. But that's a good protein for the animals. Yep, people would spend a lot of money, you know. They would feel real good if they spent money and it grew up, but if it grows up the tree, they feel bad about it. They spray it and try to kill it. Here's one of my trees right here. I think this is a black, Arkansas black.
I've heard the name of them before.
They are an apple. Here's a couple little apples here. They are not, they're a little bit bug bitten. Probably not gonna make it, but we had some late frost. I don't know if you had late frost, but
yeah,
it hurt. I mean, this here like that, bug bitten.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I sprayed every week. I sprayed the neem oil stuff. I don't know. I may have to go and just spray the real deal on it. As bad as I hate to.
I remember in your earlier video you was trying to be proactive on your fruit trees this year.
Very much. So yeah. So I don't know. They still got bug bit. There's no doubt about that. So anyway, I don't mind cutting around bug holes. Don't get me wrong. If the apple gets big enough to actually make something, I don't mind cutting around bug holes. But that's about 10 or 20 holes there.
My neighbor's apple trees would never make. I'd always just gather them up and feed them to my pigs or goats or whatever, because none of them was ever very good. Yeah. I've always been reluctant about planting out apples and fruit trees because I tend to kill anything that grows any more than just a few months.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've actually had some problems. Bush hog catch them and stuff like that.
One time you spend $30 or $40 for a tree, that's a lot of investment.
A lot of investment. And then a deer wants to come and tear it up. But part of my deal on this was also deer. Hoping that excess apples that I don't need will fall and bring the deer in, and that's another hunting opportunity.
Now, how many years have these apple trees been in?
I think they've been in here about 5 years.
5 years. So you're any time within the next couple of years, you're starting to look at bumper crops, right? 7 years is what they say for apples?
I hope so. I hope so, yeah. I've kept them pruned, I've kept them fertilized, so trying to do my part. I may have to start spraying the more abrasive sprays, but I don't know. We'll see.
You want apples or not? That's the thing.
That's kind of where it comes down to, if you're serious about it. And maybe we'll find some other organic spray that works good too. Who knows? But anyway, the one thing I do notice, the spray in the neem oil has kept a lot of the cedar rust out, and the trees look better as far as visually. They look a lot healthier than they did on the years I didn't spray it. So I don't know. I think it's at least helping the trees stay healthier. I hope that you will go over. I'm going to put the link to his channel in the descriptions of this video, and you can go over and check out Eric. Now, a lot of you have been a little sad with me because I don't put out very many gardening videos. My daughter does all the gardening. I'm not really usually there. She forces her little brothers to work there. She don't make me work out there. So wherever I am, my phone is, and that's where the videos happen. This guy actually puts out gardening videos. So those of you that are mad at me, you won't be mad at him. go over there, see Eric Hale, check out his gardening video. So anyway, that's all we got for you today. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.